Hello, learners. Want to know the financial position of a business in just one statement? So, in this video, we are going to master the balance sheet, right? So, a balance sheet is basically, I'm just giving you a meaning, simple meaning of what you understand by the term balance sheet. It is a kind of a statement that shows the financial position of a business on a particular date. Okay, so there should be a particular date, for example, 31st March 2025 or 31st March, you can say 2020, okay, and like that. It tells us what the business owns, that is the assets, and it's what it owes, that is the liabilities. So it means two columns have to be prepared, the assets and the liabilities. Then liability side shows the capital, creditors and loans, and asset side shows cash, stock, furniture and debtors. Okay. Then important rule, what you should know and keep this in mind, that is total assets is equals to total liabilities. That's why it is called a balance sheet. Now remember here, balance sheet is not an account, it is a statement and it is prepared after trading and profit and loss account. Okay, so we have already learned the theory of this, or the concepts are clear to you when how you're going to prepare the trading account and profit and loss account. And after this, you have to make the balance sheet of a firm. Okay, now if suppose here total assets are 50,000 and total liabilities, so total liabilities must also be 50,000. It means they should be balanced. Okay, then your balance sheet is correct. So for more simple concepts in accounts and economics, subscribe to Economics at Ease. Now let's start in detail here. What do you mean by balance sheet? Here, as I've already told you, it is in a statement, right? So balance sheet is a screen picture of the financial position of a going concern, that is the business, at a certain moment. Certain moment means a particular period of time. A particular period of time. Always you have to mention the date also, okay? Then it shows the status of the business as at a given time, insofar as accounting figures can be shown. It's show its status. Now features kya? It is prepared on a particular date. Then it is prepared only after profit and loss account. First, you are going to make a trading account. Okay. Then second, you have to prepare a profit and loss account. And last is the balance sheet. Okay. Now in profit and loss account, what you get here, that is the net profit. Okay. Or net loss. Now, if you get a net profit from the profit and loss account, then in capital, the net profit will be added. Or if suppose you get net loss, then you will subtract it from the cap. Right? So this is the thing. Other things have also been there. Okay, for the capital, we have to just deduct the drawings. Okay, and all. But main thing is this. And in trading account, what you get? Gross profit or gross loss. Okay, then it is transferred to profit and loss account. So these are the steps you have to follow, right? Then it contains the personal and real account. It means debtors, creditors, okay, and then assets and liabilities of trial balance. So you will always get a trial balance. You have already studied the trial balance in class 9th, right? Because the nominal and real accounts are transferred to trading and profit and loss account, okay? Then net results of profit and loss account is shown in the balance sheet. Net result is that is either it is a net profit or a net loss. Okay, so it is going to be transferred under the heading of the capital, okay, account. It is not an account but only a statement. So remember, these are two accounts you have to make, and this is a statement. Okay, then assets are shown on the right side. Now this is a kind of a balance sheet. For example, this is your page. Okay, now we're going to make the columns like this. Amount, अभी मैं आपको फॉर्मेट भी दिखाऊंगी. Amount in rupees, and here amount in rupees. Here you have the liability side, and here you have the assets, and this is your balance sheet as at जो भी आपको date mention की. If the date is not mentioned, you will just write, okay, as at dash dash dash, okay, dot dot dot, whatever is there. Assets are shown on the right hand side. This is your right side, so assets are on the right hand side, and liabilities on the left hand side. So L say liabilities, L say left. Okay, so ये तो मैं सिंपल सा बता रही हूँ, बट यू आर गोइंग टू मेक द अकाउंट्स so many times that you will learn it. Okay, so it is very important to understand the concepts. Okay, the excess of assets over liabilities represent the capital of the owner. It shows the financial position of the business. Okay, and it is prepared from the trial balance. It means the question when you will get it, there will be a trial balance. Out of that, you have to find out the items of the trading account, that is the direct expenses and direct incomes. Okay, that is sales, closing stock will be there, and what else, that is the sales, credit sales, or sales return. Okay, so these are the items of trading account. And then next you have to make the profit and loss account from the trial balance. You have to pick up the items, you have to select the items. Okay, the format is already been given to you. You have to look after that. Okay, and then last you have to make a statement, that is a balance sheet. Okay, so this is the process. You have to make three things. Okay, and it is of 10 marks. So need, why it is needed? It shows the financial position of the business on a particular day to the owners as well as to the outsiders. It means the people who are involved in your business, the owner, the creditors, the debtors, okay, every person who investors, they should know the financial position of the business. It helps the investor to know the earning capacity and financial health of the business. Analysis in the form of financial ratios can provide valuable information, financial strength, and repaying capacity of the firm. So these are the informations you can get out, okay, of the business if the balance sheet is prepared. So it means it is very helpful. Then it's helpful for creditors. S होना चाहिए यहाँ पे, okay, and investors for taking right decisions. Now, format of balance sheet. So there are two kinds of formats available. One is the liquidity preference, and the other is permanence preference. Okay, liquidity that can be easily transferred, or liquid means जल्दी से cash में transfer हो जाता है. Okay, permanence, as the name itself indicates, that is a permanent in nature. Okay. Now here, let's see liquidity preference. After that, I'm going to just share the format also. Liquidity means the readiness with which the assets can be converted into cash. Okay, that means the assets, how means quickly. Readiness means quickly. How quickly the assets can be changed into cash. Okay, under this method, the most liquid or current assets. Now, current assets का अगर आपसे example पूछा जाता है, you can easily write cash, debtors, stock in hand are listed at the top. So asset sides पे क्या होगा, आपको पहले लिक्विड एसेट्स और करंट एसेट्स आप हेडिंग डालेंगे, एंड देन यू आर गोइंग टू जस्ट जो भी ट्रायल बैलेंस में आपको दिया होगा, कैश है, डेटर्स है, स्टॉक इन हैंड है, जो भी है वो आप इसको मेंशन करेंगे, राइट. देन लेस वहां पे क्या हो जाएगा, लिक्विड एसेट्स और फिक्स्ड एसेट्स. इट इज प्लांट एंड मशीनरी, लैंड. लेस लिक्विड एसेट्स, लेस नहीं करना है, मतलब लेस मींस ये फिक्स्ड एसेट्स हैं आपके, इनको जल्दी आप कन्वर्ट नहीं करते हैं कैश में. ठीक है, डोंट टेक दिस लेस के इसमें से लेस होना है, नो, दिस इज डिफरेंट. लिक्विड और करंट एसेट इज डिफरेंट, हेडिंग है ये. लेस लिक्विड एसेट्स मींस दे आर नॉट ट्रांसफर्ड इनटू कैश. ओके, इनको हम ज्यादा टाइम के लिए अपने बिजनेस में रखते हैं. प्लांट एंड मशीनरी, लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग, एंड देयर आफ्टर. देन फिक्टिशियस एसेट्स, प्रिलिमिनरी एक्सपेंसेस एंड अनएक्सपायर्ड एक्सपायर्ड एक्सपेंसेस, प्रीपेड इंश्योरेंस, ये सब आपको क्या होगा, दिया गया होगा इन ट्रायल बैलेंस. ओके, विच हैव नो रिलायबल वैल्यू आर शोन एट द बॉटम. एंड देन करंट लाइबिलिटीज, दैट इज ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड. लाइबिलिटीज के अंडर में पहले आप बताइए, करंट लाइबिलिटीज आर शोन फर्स्ट, एंड देन लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटीज, एंड देन लास्ट इज द कैपिटल. कैपिटल में आप ऐड कर देंगे नेट प्रॉफिट इफ यू हैव गॉट द नेट प्रॉफिट आउट ऑफ प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. अदरवाइज यू विल शो, अगर नेट लॉस है तो नेट लॉस आप रखेंगे, राइट. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड इट वेरी वेल. अब मैं फॉर्मेट आपको दिखा देती हूँ. This is the kind of a balance sheet. You have to write balance sheet as at. जो भी आपको mention होगा date, you have to write the date. Now you're going to just make the columns like this: liabilities on the left hand side and assets on the right hand side. Then current assets, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था, this is a liquidity preference balance sheet. Current assets में ये सब आपके examples आ जाएंगे, right? Everything will be given in the trial balance. उसका amount देख के सही से आपको copy करना है. Then investment, then fixed assets, patents and goodwill, ये सब होगा, ठीक है. Then current liabilities, everything is there in the, you can say, trial balance. And long term liabilities, long term loans on mortgage, debentures. Now owner's equity, here capital में add करेंगे net profit और minus करेंगे net loss. If there is a drawings by the proprietor, then drawings mention होगा, less आप कर देंगे drawings. Then reserve and retain profits. Okay, so these are the things you have to keep in mind, and remember liabilities and assets are always equal. तभी आपकी balance sheet tally होगी. ठीक है, अगर नहीं हो रही तो इसका मतलब है you have done something wrong either in the trading account, या तो आपने सही से इसको करा नहीं है, ठीक है, उसकी पोस्टिंग सही नहीं करी है आइटम्स की, या आपने क्रेडिट का डेबिट में कर दिया, डेबिट का क्रेडिट में, कुछ मतलब कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ है, राइट? सो देर मस्ट बी समथिंग रॉन्ग यू हैव पोस्टेड, और यू हैव इमेजिन समथिंग रॉन्ग, कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर नहीं है, तभी बैलेंस शीट आपकी टैली नहीं होती है, राइट? ना परमानेंस इट मीन्स परमानेंट, ओके, प्रेफरेंस द मोस्ट परमानेंट और फिक्स्ड एसेट, यानी कि परमानेंस का मतलब है सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे उसमें, फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, दो तरह की बैलेंस शीट बनाने को बता रही हूँ मैं, ठीक है? एक थी आपकी दिस वन लिक्विडिटी प्रेफरेंस, इसमें हमने क्या किया, सबसे लिक्विड करा। अब परमानेंस में क्या होता है, ये उल्टा चलेगा बिल्कुल, जस्ट टू रिवर्स, ओके, रेसिप्रोकल। फिक्स्ड एसेट्स वी विल टेक, first we are going to take the fixed asset, that is goodwill, land, building, plant and machinery, etc., placed at the top. Then less permanent, that means current assets, okay? Less permanent agar bola jayega, it means you have to write down the examples of current assets, right? Stock, sundry debtors, stock in hand or cash. Then fictitious assets and unexpired expenses are shown at the bottom of the balance sheet. Capital is listed at the top, right? Permanent liabilities thereafter and short-term liabilities are shown at the last. Now, permanence preference का ये जो है आपका balance sheet का, this is the format. You can just go through that. Fixed assets first, सबसे पहले goodwill, land and building, plant, machinery, furniture and fixtures, motor vehicles. Then investment, you will write here, then current asset, stock, accrued income, prepaid expenses, debtors, bill receivable, cash at bank, cash in hand, and last है fictitious asset, that is the preliminary expenses, okay? देन ओनर्स इक्विटी सबसे पहले लिखेंगे हम कैपिटल, देन ऐड करेंगे नेट प्रॉफिट, और अगर नेट लॉस है तो सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देंगे लेस ड्रॉइंग्स, रिजर्व और रिटेन। देन लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटीज, डिबेंचर्स और लोन्स और मॉर्गेज, एंड देन करंट लाइबिलिटीज, बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट, क्रेडिटर्स, income received in advance, outstanding expenses and contingent liabilities. All you will get these things, these items in the trial balance. ठीक है, एक सिर्फ क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ही आपके बाहर लिखी होगी, मेंशन की होगी, बाकी ये सब आइटम्स आपको कुछ ना कुछ मिलेंगे। जरूरी नहीं है हर बार आपको हर आइटम मिले, बट यू शुड नो वेयर यू हैव टू करेक्टली पोस्ट दैट, ओके, इन विच अकाउंट। नाउ क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एसेट्स एंड लाइबिलिटीज, एसेट्स होते क्या है फिक्स्ड एसेट में, these are the most permanent nature. It means they are not for the resale purpose. These are required for the purpose of generating revenue and not meant for resale. Example, land, building, machinery, furniture, plant, patents, goodwill, motor vehicles, etc. Right? So these examples you should know. और इसमें कभी-कभी पूछा भी जा सकता है, what do you mean by this? Then these are shown in the balance sheet at cost less depreciation. Now note, wasting asset. Wasting assets भी होते हैं. The fixed assets which have limited useful life and which depreciate rapidly. Example, mines and quarries, etc. So these are kind of wasting assets. ये MCQs में भी पूछा जा सकता है. Okay. Now quarries means what? It is a place where materials like stones, minerals, or sands are extracted from the earth. So because the more you extract, the less material is left in the ground. So its value keep decreasing over time, right? And remember here, for more simple concepts in accounts and economics, subscribe to Economics at Ease. Don't forget that. Then intangible assets, which cannot be seen, example, goodwill and patents. Mark this here, that is these 3 points आपके MCQs में भी पूछे जा सकते हैं, or in simple one-line explanation, right? Then investments may be of two types, long-term investments that are treated as fixed assets and short-term investment that are treated as current assets. Then current assets means these assets are acquired and held for consumption or resale in the ordinary course of business. These are converted into cash within a short period of time. For example, cash in hand, bank. Okay. Then balances, short-term loans, sundry debtors, closing stock, prepaid expenses. ये सब आपके क्या है, current assets की list में already mention है. They are also known as circulating assets. So अगर current assets ना पूछ के circulating assets कर, don't get confused. Then fictitious assets, these assets are not represented by possession of any property, have no market value. तो आपको simple given होगा trial balance में, preliminary expenses, discount on issue of shares and debentures. So no, these are under the heading of fictitious assets. इतना आपके लिए काफी है. These are to be written off against profit and loss account. Then here liquid assets. They can be converted into cash quickly. Example, cash in hand, cash at bank, investment, etc. ठीक है. Now, next is the liabilities column. On the left-hand side of the balance sheet, we prepare a liability column. Fixed liabilities that are fixed in nature, okay? And these liabilities are repayable after a long period of time or not repayable during the operating cycle of the business. Then long-term loans, loans on mortgage or debentures, etc. Then current liabilities that have to be repaid within a year or in the near future, okay? इतना लंबा उसको नहीं खींचते हैं हम. Example, bills payable है, creditors को pay करना है, right? and outstanding business है, overdraft है, bank overdraft, etc. come under the category of current liabilities. Then contingent liabilities, these are uncertain and may or may not arise in future on happening of a certain event. It means we are keeping a reserve कि अगर कोई happening होगी तो हम उसमें से कर लेंगे. Okay, so they may or may not arise in future. That's why it is known as contingent liabilities. If event occurs, a contingent liability becomes a real liability. यानी कि आपको फिर पे करना पड़ेगा if the event occurs. if अगर वो चीज हो जाती है then you have to pay, otherwise आपको नहीं करना है. For example, liability on bills discounted, disputed claims, liability under a damage suit, and a guarantee for a loan. Okay, so if these kind of things are going to occur, then you have to make the payment. So but the account is what that is the contingent liabilities account के अंडर में ये आएगा. Now this is again a recap. Trading account में क्या क्या चीजें आती हैं? All the direct expenses, purchases and less returns, sales less returns, closing stock, and सबसे पहले आपको opening stock mention करना है. Then on profit and loss account, you can zoom it and then you can easily see all the indirect expenses, and first of all the gross profit and gross loss. Gross profit on the credit side, and if there is a gross loss then on a debit side. सबसे पहले आप इसको इसकी entry करेंगे and then you are going to just write here all the expenses, that is the indirect expenses and indirect incomes. Okay, then whatever is the balance, balance जो आपका होगा यहाँ पे net profit आ जाएगा, and if it is a net loss on the credit side, then it is going to be transferred into the capital account. Now here is the format for balance sheet. Liabilities में owners में आपको बताई थी था मैंने अभी, you are going to make it like this and it should be balanced. Right, now there is a difference between balance sheet and profit and loss account. How you can say the main purpose, it is prepared to know the financial position of the business. Balance sheet is when profit and loss, as the name itself indicate, it is prepared, and the most important purpose is to ascertain the net profit or net loss of the business. Then the period, on the basis of period, balance sheet is prepared at a particular date, and profit and loss presents the result of business for a particular period, usually 1 year. नेचर क्या है? बैलेंस शीट इज अ स्टेटमेंट एंड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस इज अ अकाउंट. तो बैलेंस शीट अकाउंट ना लिख के आ जाइएगा, राइट? यू हैव टू राइट ओनली बैलेंस शीट एंड दिस इज प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, और ऐसे ही लिखना है, राइट? देन हेडिंग्स. Balance sheet has two sides, that is assets and liabilities, and profit and loss also have two sides, but it is called incomes and expenses. Okay, लेकिन हम क्या करते हैं? पर्टिकुलर्स लिख देते हैं, राइट? देन कॉन्टेंट्स, अभी आप जब करेंगे प्रैक्टिस देन यू विल कम टू नो. Contents, it contains all the real and personal account, that is the balance sheet, and profit and loss account contains all the nominal accounts. It means all the expenses and losses are debited and all the incomes and gains are credited, right? You should know the rules. अगर नहीं याद है आपको तो ये जितना आपको काम आना है you should know. Okay, because the questions can be asked like this also. Okay, what kind of accounts you have to post in the balance sheet or trading account or profit and loss account, and the reason. Okay, difference, it has two, the two sides are equal in total. Balance sheet में क्या होता है? difference नहीं आता है, right? दोनों साइड्स इक्वल होते हैं, एसेट्स एंड लाइबिलिटीज. देन प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, इफ देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन द टोटल ऑफ द टू, रिप्रेजेंट्स द नेट प्रॉफिट और द नेट लॉस. ओके, देन इफेक्ट्स ऑन द अकाउंट, द बैलेंस शीट ऑफ अकाउंट इंक्लूडेड इन द बैलेंस शीट आर ब्रॉट फॉरवर्ड इन द नेक्स्ट ईयर. सो द बैलेंसेस जो भी आपके मिलेंगे बचेंगे वो आप फॉरवर्ड करेंगे नेक्स्ट ईयर को. और प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस का क्या करते हैं? हम कैपिटल में ट्रांसफर कर देते हैं. द अकाउंट्स ट्रांसफर टू इट आर क्लोज्ड एंड नो बैलेंसेस एग्जिस्ट इन दीज अकाउंट्स. हाँ, इस अकाउंट में कोई नहीं करते हैं, राइट? जो इफेक्ट्स ऑन अकाउंट्स पे पड़ता है इस पे बैलेंसेस का नहीं बोल रहे हैं, राइट? द अकाउंट्स ट्रांसफर टू इट, जो भी अकाउंट्स इनमें ट्रांसफर करते हैं, आर क्लोज्ड एंड नो बैलेंसेस एग्जिस्ट इन दीज अकाउंट्स. ठीक है? सो now you have understood the concepts clearly. In the next video we will start solving numericals of final accounts, class 10th I.C.S.E, step by step. So trust me, it's going to be super easy and scoring, so don't miss it and subscribe to Economics at Ease. Thank you for watching.